Well, if you have, you should have an idea of where I'm going. Alright, hello everyone. How many of you have seen a type of auto racing in person or on TV? Well, if you have, you should have an idea of where I'm going with this. Many people like to think of auto racing not to be a sport, more specifically to say NASCAR isn't a sport. They always say the same thing: when you sit in a car. Well, the people who say that know nothing about NASCAR. So today I will explain to you why NASCAR is a sport. So why don't people consider NASCAR a sport? Is it because they sit in a car for a living? Well, going 200 miles per hour apparently takes no effort. The drivers need to be able to control the wheel for 3+ hours. You need to be strong to control that wheel. I highly doubt that a non-trained driver will be able to get into a stock car and drive it like a Toyota Camry they see every day. The engines are way different with the mileage and horsepower. Name a car that can go 200+ miles per hour and 500 miles in 3 hours and won't have any issues. The parts and body are different so that the car can handle the abuse it takes on the track. The drivers also need to train to handle the G-force when they drive and to stay hydrated because there aren't any water breaks. The oxygen is a big part of the training aspect. If you have seen a NASCAR race before, you know what I mean. The car's aerodynamics are very different than a street legal car. In NASCAR, they are built so not as much air can get into the car. That is why some of the training involves the environment they will be racing in. USA Today interviewed a former driver. This was said. Driver Jeremy Mayfield said he loses 5 pounds during a typical race. He describes his 4-hour stint behind the wheel of a stock car like this. I don't know if you have ever opened up the oven and felt the hot air, but it's hard to breathe. Also, when the cockpit is over 140 degrees and you're wearing 2 layers of clothing, and one is the fireproof suit, that is apparently easy. I don't find that to be easy or comfortable. I'm sure you get used to this as you race more, but it seems almost impossible to last in those conditions. Also, name a sport that doesn't have a playoffs or a championship. Well, if NASCAR wasn't a sport, why would they have a playoff system and championship? I'll briefly describe the chase. NASCAR calls their playoffs the chase, and at the end of 26 races, the top 16 drivers remain eligible for a championship. Now you might wonder what happens to the other 27 drivers that they don't stop racing. They are at the track every week and can still win and make the difference in every lap. At the end of 9 races, the top 4 drivers remain. In the final race, the highest finishing driver out of the final 4 wins the championship. After hearing this, I hope you have realized that NASCAR is a sport. I have a challenge for all of you. Next time a NASCAR race is on, watch it from start to finish and see what you think. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed.